about to witness.
What everybody, what's up? It's me, Mark Wiggins. I am editor-in-chief of Off the Bench magazine. Welcome to the show, Off the Bench Spotlight. And tonight we have a super guest on today. This is probably one of the most unique stories of 2023 for me. And I can't wait to hear the story. But first, before we get started, let's do a couple things first. Make sure that you go over to offthebenchmagazine.com and subscribe to the magazine. Like, subscribe, and share, and all that kind of good stuff on my social media is there. We got a lot of good stuff coming out. We're working on the, what is this, October, November. Yes, October, November issues we're working on right now. Also, in other big news, the King Conversation book will probably drop for pre-sale in December. Don't hold me to the date just yet, but it's going to drop in December. We'll also have on the authors in the book, King Conversation, the book, the anthology. I think we're pushing about 27, 28 authors, all with unique stories and touching things. You know, King Conversation is about that discussion that kings have with other kings and kings have with young prince and princesses. Like, we get in our people ready to step up. So motivation and life messages, philosophies, things to live by. We actually have two for certain, the third one, people who are incarcerated right now that are writing their message out to motivate youth, encourage people to choose a different way and talk about their journey. So we are excited about this book that's coming out, and we will make sure that everyone gets it. Make sure you also subscribe to the podcast, Off the Bench with Mark Wiggins, and Off the Bench magazine, OTB magazine, was also a place to subscribe to that. More exciting news, because it just keeps coming. June 22, 2024. June 22, 2024. Put this up here and take that off of here. We're talking about the Extreme Business Conference that we're going to be doing in DC, and the Off the Bench Conference is coming. And the Extreme Business Conference is really cool. We have speakers coming from Carolina, Nashville, Maryland. I'm trying to get somebody from Ohio and Dallas to come up to speak. But right now, those are some of my speakers coming in to do this business conference, Extreme Business Conference. You want to make sure you're there. It's one day training. We have a VIP program. Come the night before, hang out with me, get some one-on-one time, and work on your message. We talk business. I got a business strategist involved. Catherine, who's my BD coach, is also going to be presenting. She's a strategist and helping me put this all together. So you definitely want to make sure you register for that. More information to come. All right, that's out the way. Coming to the stage right now is my man, Dieunerst Collin. Dennis, what's happening?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm well, bro. I'm well. They're not as good as you, but I'm doing all right. How's everything popping?
Man, I'm alive. Thank you, God.
Right, doing your thing. And so for everybody doesn't know, Dieunerst has a very unique story. And as you know, I don't do bios, and I think it would do me injustice. But Dieunerst, just tell your story, and we're gonna get into it and make the connections and connect the dots.
My name is Dieunerst Collin. I'm from East Painesville, New Jersey, and I attend Lake Erie College. I play football, and I am the viral Popeyes meme kid, Mr. Side-Eye himself. When I was 9 years old, me, my dad, and my little brother, we decided, hey, let's go to Popeyes, because Popeyes was a big thing for our family to, for dinner when nobody didn't want to cook. Me and my dad and my little brother, actually, we go there. My dad, we obviously get the food, purchase the food and everything. He gives me a cup and says, hey, Dieunerst, go get me some iced tea. And him and my little brother actually go to the bathroom, and I actually go stand in the line. Literally a couple seconds later, some random person, Samuel is his name. I actually met him. He came in with his friends having a good time, and he decides to pull out a camera and record me and say, Terry Popeyes. Obviously, based off the video, I was looking very confused because it's like, who are you talking to? Obviously, based off my eyes, it's like, are you recording me or are you recording somebody behind me? But obviously, he was recording me. And literally, after that, a couple of days later, figured I was going viral on Facebook, then going viral online, and viral on Instagram.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So everybody's seen that meme, the Popeyes kid. And so while you were, I mean, back when, I did a little research on this. So you put that on Vine. I mean, Vine lasts for about a week when it came out. So how did you respond to that? All of a sudden, people started seeing you and recognizing you. Did you know this had happened to you?
Uh, I actually was told by my cousin told my sister, and my sister told me, and I was very upset about it because it's like, as a I was in elementary school at the time. As a kid in elementary school, it's like, elementary school, they talk about, oh, bullying's not good. If somebody's bullying you, tell them all that stuff. And I felt like I was being bullied throughout the process. And it's like,
Hmm.
why me? I always question why me. And I felt like I didn't deserve any of like the attention I was getting.
Wow. So you felt you didn't deserve it because with something because of brand new, you seem like you may have been one of the shy kids back in the day who kind of just moved through the crowd. No one really said anything to you, and now all of a sudden everyone's looking at you. Is that a good assumption, good guess?
Oh, yes, that's 100% right. I was in elementary school, I was just the quiet kid who just sat there, I just kept my mouth shut, just went through the motions.
That's crazy. So now, how did you and your family start how did you handle it early? How did you handle this all of a sudden this heat early on?
So my dad actually wanted to take this to court because he felt like, why is my son on here? My son does not deserve to be on here. Because I told him I didn't like it. And obviously we had family members that tell him, like, hey, take this to the authorities because this is not right. And obviously we tried and we were told nothing can happen due to the fact that it was recorded in a public area. But literally that same day, because that day my dad actually took me out of school and said, I'm going to the police and all that stuff. That same day, I actually told him, don't worry about any of this. I'm going to be fine. And all this would either die down or flip around. Because when I was little, I would actually pray and also say, one day I'll be famous. So.
Wow. So so here we are. But for 10 years though, Dennis, for 10 years you was 9. Now you're 19ish. Was it every day, all day? Did it kind of go up and down? What was it like?
Oh, every single day, every
Oh,
day. I mean, I couldn't even sit back and have a perfect day without somebody at least mentioning it. And to be honest, they'll catch me on a bad day. When they catch me on a bad day, I just look upset. Catch me on a good day, I laugh at it. And some days I just try to just avoid it and get away from like hearing any of that.
so what do you think all that did for your mental toughness? So you're an athlete now. How did this prepare you to be an athlete?
So it kind of helped me where like I can one take criticism from like people who are like watching the game themselves, and it helped me learn how to block out a lot of things, whether it's on the field or off the field. So it just prepared me. It was like, okay, only listen to things you want to hear. Don't listen to none of that
Mm,
stuff people are talking about that you don't want to hear. Because if you actually listen to it, it can affect you very badly. And it's a lot of people in this world that's actually, I'm not gonna say they've been in the same, like obviously same situation, but they've experienced something similar, and I'm not gonna say they fell off the earth, but they don't want to be known, and sometimes they even change their appearances due to
mm.
things happening like that. But with me, it's, hey, you said this, you said that, okay, I don't really care. But I'm still me. So
Right, right. Now, what did mom say while this is going on? 'Cause mom have a different spin on things.
So my mom actually has a mental problem. She's actually been going through
Hmm.
something since I was very little, and she was very surprised that I was obviously. I actually cried in her arms the day I actually figured it out. I was crying in her arms, and she said it was going to be okay. She said, "Don't worry about it." And till this day, she says, "Hey, it's still there. It happened." So.
Hmm. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now you move forward. So now take me fast forward. Now you played through middle school, high school, you know, high school. How did football and life? You played football in high school, right?
Yep. Started playing
So we,
football my freshman year of high school.
in what position do you play?
I was playing offensive line.
Offensive line.
Yep.
And how did that work? You playing football, and was your team was pretty decent? Did you won state? Was it your freshman year or like later on?
So coming into my freshman year, I wasn't playing varsity, but I did play varsity my freshman year though. Our team was always in the playoffs. We never had that. We was not able to take that one step for us to obviously go far and win. Even though
Mhm.
my sophomore year, we were about to, but obviously that didn't happen. Then junior year, COVID happened, and we were limited season wise. Even though our record still didn't meet the expectations we wanted as
Mhm.
a team. And literally that summer, I said, "Hey, it's COVID. Lock in if you want to be a good football player." And especially since I know about, hey, I can go to college early. I was like, "Hey, lock in. If like this, I had like a goal for myself. I said, if you don't make all state, if you don't win a ring, I'm not gonna say I didn't say obviously I failed as a football player, but I just would say you failed. So
Mhm.
I pushed
Mhm.
myself hard enough, made second team on state that my senior year, and I won a state championship that year. That was a key factor.
Yeah, right. That's key. And from the great state of Ohio, we're all things Buckeye. We're all things Cleveland Cavaliers and everything else. Now you're in Painesville, right? In that Lake Erie College in Painesville.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. I grew up in the Cleveland area, Maple Heights. So I'm familiar with Painesville. We play a lot of ball down that way. Um, that's just awesome. So now you're into this spot. So here we are now, 9 years so months later. How in the world did Popeyes and you connect to make this thing be who you are now and run it like you're running it?
So SportsCenter actually posted a rerun saying when I won a state championship, this is him now. Because usually we do then and now, where are they at now? And surprisingly, I was actually the one guy who actually was becoming of a successful football player in a way.
Mhm.
And it was pretty shocking. So they reposted it. I had a bunch of people texting me saying, "Hey, Tommy tag Popeyes, you're in college now. You can get an NIL deal." So like, see if the internet can work finally. So I usually when they send me stuff like that, I don't listen. Obviously, I really try to like. I'm not gonna say I try to block it out, but like I try not to like listen because I didn't believe it would work, and luckily I actually took it serious. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna post it just so people can get off my back, and
Mhm.
two for me for and hopingly they would answer. Because last time I made a video my senior year saying Popeyes let's work, and they actually only commented. They actually didn't DM me personally. So literally, I posted it. I tagged everybody, and I had everybody that shockingly really cared and was like, "Yep, it's about time they do something for him." And literally less than 24 hours, they DM me and say, "Hey, we want to work."
Crazy. Now you got to NIL did not exist. Uh, NIL was something else back when I was in school. How does that really work for you? And when did you tie in with Tony? How did that work? And how is it working for you now?
So with NIL in general, I actually didn't like. I didn't understand what it was until people would come to me and break it down. Now I'll see on Instagram, oh, this player has this amount. I'm like, okay, and I didn't think brands would obviously pay them. I would usually think the school, based off the school they
Mhm.
went to. Obviously, they taught me how everything works and how everything's going. I'm okay. So then I also thought of like, hey, now that this is a thing, they actually care about your personality and what type of character you are. So let's go ahead and show them your character as well. Toss in the character, and it's like, okay, he's actually a good person, one, and a good person that can be on our brand. So let's go ahead and use him. And I'm pretty sure he would enjoy it. And surprisingly, every brand that I've worked with, I've enjoyed it a lot.
Wow. And so you met Tony and his company right at that time window?
Yeah, to be honest, it was actually very crazy. It was a lot of agents and all that stuff hitting me up saying, "Hey, what's work?" All that stuff. And knowing me, I kind of I kind of had like a little talent show, I want to say, and so I could see who was better for me and like my family and everything. And obviously I talked to a lot of them, but what Tony said actually stood out to me. He said, "Hey, I love to work with you. I get you on I get you want to make deals. We love that. But listen, you need a guy that's gonna help you with it, help you teach you and everything. And also we want you to worry about school first. Because surprisingly, everybody who's talked to me when it came to like deals and everything didn't say we want you to worry about school first. They obviously talked about the business aspect of everything. And I get that. I would definitely love to understand, all that work and all that stuff. But remember, I'm a student athlete. I'm not just an athlete. I'm a student athlete. So
Right. Yeah, Tony's a great dude. We go way back, man. He has a lot of connections. He was in the NFL for a while, and we met, and he sprung the idea on me. It's like, Wiggs, I'm gonna do this thing, man. It's NIL or whatever. And I was right at the beginning. I'm always interested. I felt like soapbox. I've always felt like athletes should have gotten paid. Right. I went to Division II school, University of Alabama, Huntsville, War Chargers down in Huntsville. And my dad would always tell me, he goes, "Hey, listen, you are a commodity, right? You'll never make the money they're going to make off of you, but you'll lose if you don't get this degree." That's what he said. So I came out, I had to have a degree. But I started thinking about that thing. It's like, this, even at Division II school, you generate a lot of revenue off of you, right? And people in your brand, they recognize you first, then the university. Of course, university is doing what it's doing. And so I've always felt like, instead of all these NCAA violations, well, he took him out for dinner, he was cold, and that violate. For real, that's a violation. A coach is going to do what a coach needs to do.
Right.
Now, we've got some major issues. There were bigger issues than what they were cracking people with. But NIL kind of made that thing go, and that doggone portal just leveled the field, and they can't stand it. They are absolutely hating life because the big dogs had all the power, right? The big schools were the big schools, and all of a sudden the big schools are being challenged by not the big schools, but the players are players, right?
I agree.
What's your thoughts on we gotta talk about Colorado and Deion, and what's your thoughts about that?
Like, to be honest, one thing I actually love is the fact that he wants the athletes to get paid, because obviously you have coaches. I believe I don't know if I'm probably correct on this, but I believe Nick Saban is actually one of the coaches that's like, we get the athletes to get paid, that's cool enough, but let's worry about the football aspect, But my thing is, everything you guys are using in the facilities, everything you guys are sitting on, everything you guys are giving us, you guys are really, really getting up right to do that because of us as players. So the fact that took this long for players to start making like actual money off their name, well, I find that very, 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 very crazy. Just imagine if you had the other big names from a long time ago. You got like Derrick Henry, you got Randy Moss, you got like Cam Newton, you got names like that. Just imagine what their value would have been. So it would have been crazy back then.
It's absolutely been crazy. And the sad part is we're getting money anyway. That was the illegal part. They talk about the small little kid from Mississippi getting a shoe and a ride home and their parents. But meanwhile, the big players are getting cars, mama's trick, and big money envelopes, handshakes. That stuff did exist. The money handshake. Don't ask me how I know, but I know it existed.
Oh, I know it.
Now, the same thing I like about, I watch Colorado, and he's just irked everybody because they're not doing it. I saw the practice. Then it's why everybody had an @ sign on their name, on the back of their jersey, not their name. Their handles are on the back of I was like, are you serious right now? He's really promoting them all. And while it looks like he's promoting him, now he's doing more.
It's just the one thing I like about Deion himself is that even though he's very old guy. He knows the generation. He knows the generation. He's not the type of coach that's like, okay, old school is better than this. I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and say old school is terrible, but like
Right.
sometimes you want to toss in some of the new school because when you toss in the new school, it's I'm not gonna say it's so 100% better, but it can tweak with the old school a little bit when it could be is one. So that's one thing I really like.
Yeah, you're right. The old school, and I never, of course, watched a lot of his tapes, and what it really boils down to is um, he holds the kids accountable. You
Yeah.
you win the last game, right? You won your game and fought your way out. And he gets in and talks about we didn't do it the right way.
Yep.
I'm upset about the execution of what we worked on. Oh, you won though, coach. He's like, I ain't happy. And he's been that way all his career. Like I saw his career. He has been this dude the whole time. He's been flash, but he can back it up. And that's what's really scary when a dude can talk smack and actually back it up.
Oh,
That's
yeah, for sure.
So now, Dennis, what's next for you? Where you playing? You got dreams, aspirations for the league? I mean, there's 16 different leagues now you can play. What's your goal?
So right now, I actually was just moved to a new position. I'm actually on the D line now.
Okay.
I've only played 4 snaps of D line my whole career in like high school, and it didn't go pretty well. But right now, I want to say I'm doing very well, and obviously, I think I can go far at this position just due to frame, physicality, and all that stuff. And I do have aspirations of wanting to go to the league. But
Okay.
obviously, if that doesn't work out, I want to get into broadcasting. I want to be an analyst, be a reporter, be all that stuff because I think I can be very, very successful with that.
Oh, absolutely. I love your tone and tempo. It's really very insightful. You're
Mhm.
playing defensive guard tackle, and where you at?
I can't hear you. What is that?
I said you're playing defense. What position?
I'm a nose guard.
Oh, you're on the nose. Oof,
Yeah, I'm a
okay.
pretty big guy.
You're a big dude. You're playing the nose. He's a big dude. You got to move some things. You got to move some things. And you're what, a sophomore? Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. So now, how are you balancing life with business? I won't call it celebrity because that's probably not what you like. How you balancing life and business?
So that this was kind of pretty hard for me, like because in the span of like the this is actually being in the year, like the first 3-4 months was kind of hard because I had this thing to do for Popeyes. Then I had another company wanted me to do something, and then I had school as well, so it was kind of hard. But now, like I I actually learned this from Floyd Mayweather. It's 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
It don't take that long to do certain things. If you got to take an hour to do one thing, do it. If you got to take another hour to do something, do it. So I try to balance it out on my schedule so I don't have to like over stress myself and oh my God, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. This is why when it comes to business and all that stuff, everything's set for a certain time.
And then you have an executive assistant over there keeping your schedule.
I can't hear you. What you say?
I said you have an assistant over there keeping your schedule.
Myself.
Let's talk to Tony, see if we can get you some help on that. We need somebody to keep your calendar. So
Oh
Tony,
yeah,
come on.
Tony actually does help me sometimes with that too. I that I cannot lie on him. He does.
Tony's a villain. He'll keep you on point. I don't know how he keeps up with all that, but that's what's up. And across the bottom of the screen, this for those out here watching this and we have this NIL conversation. Your child is in that space. You're not sure. Hit up Tony and talk to him. Talk to somebody that has a heart to help kids and families, and listen to him, hear him out. Like I said, he's building this company up right. He's getting young, great athletes like my man Dieunerst right here. But nothing else. He's gonna give you the truth. He's gonna give you the information you need. And know that it's about kids first. The dollars will be there, right? The dollars going to be there, and he'll actually show you how to get them and keep them, right? There's more
For
to it.
sure.
That, like you said, Dennis, a lot of these people coming through just talk about the cash, but even the older athletes, like, how you going to keep it?
Mm-hmm.
How you going to make it work for you after you are no longer working? Because, like I say, because of your persona, Lord forbid, if your career didn't go as long as you wanted to, you could still be doing this.
Right.
This still is this. So the brand is your persona. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way people see about you. It's more than just how many points, tackles, or sacks to this point that you get. And that's the message I want everybody to hear from you, that it is more than you said that. It's more than just that. We
Yep.
get that anywhere. Go ahead.
I agree. Like, I get obviously because some people are in certain positions financially and all that stuff, but I like to worry about consistency and how long everything's for. This is why when people like, I actually recently said this, and the crazy part when I said this, I was like, how did this come out of my mouth? I said somebody said, "Oh, let's be great." I say, "Yeah, you can be great for as long as but you want to sustain greatness. You don't want to be great, you want to sustain greatness. And you could bring up so many athletes who's maybe been great for 1 year and then everything plummeted. You want to bring up somebody who's been great consistently. Obviously, you got athletes like Serena Williams, you got LeBron James, you got Tom Brady, you got Tiger. Those guys have been great for those guys and women have been great for a long time. And also, when it comes to stuff like this, you also want to build a relationship because it can help you in the future. It can help you. It can help maybe even somebody you are friends with, family members, so that have a connection.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just, you watch, put it to music, talking about consistency, and all these hip hop, 50 years of hip hop, all the one hit wonder people that come out, right?
Yeah.
We know that one or two songs. They made a whole album. We only know one song. But then you got people who've been out here, got catalogs and catalogs of music, and it's been consistently in getting it. You want longevity, you need to be consistent, like you said. I love it. Well, Dennis, I want to hold you. I know you probably got some studies going on. Where can people find you or follow you and keep up with you and what you're doing?
Follow me on Instagram. That's Dennis, name Dieunerst. I'm on TikTok a little bit. KW Dieunerst. And my Twitch is my full name.
You on Twitch?
Yeah, usually right now, obviously in season, my body's going through it right now. But off season, as soon as season's over, it's always fun on stream, always.
Bruh, all right. Well, hey man, I appreciate you so much. Any last words? I'll give you a chance to impart some wisdom on your crew, your behind you, young athletes. Anything you want to tell them?
To be honest, this goes for everybody in the world. I really appreciate everybody for where I am right now, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a regular person, whether you're anybody, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be having opportunities I have right now.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for coming on Off the Bench, and we appreciate you. If you got a fan over here, and my platform is open for any time. You want to come in, run your podcast, do a podcast, we can do that too. You can run an interview. I don't care. I'm here to provide. All right, mate. You have a great season.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. That's a great interview, great man, great story. And again, this NIL thing is changing the game and leveling fields and portals. My word out, do not try to do this alone. Do not try to do it. There's so many other pockets to this thing when it comes to sports. It sounds good, and you get burned and you switch schools and this, that, and the third and the other, and it affects your brand. Now we got to be worried about our branding, our edge. Always switch schools 16 times. Nobody wants to hear all that. Get with someone who can guide you and lead you along the way, whether it's Tony at the Collective Engine or someone else. Make them come in and talk to you and tell them what their plan is for your child, right? Your student athlete, your person, that brand they're building. They need to be building it right for the long run. You just heard Dennis say, for long and consistent longevity. You need to be building it right. Get quick cash anywhere, but can you be consistent? Anyway, that's all I got, and I'll leave you with this. As always, if you can reach your dreams with a step ladder, then they're probably too low. I'm out.